Klement-USA Today Sports As the 2019 NFL Draft draws closer by the day, names of potential prospects the Dallas Cowboys have shown an interest in continue to leak across the internet. Some of it of course is smoke and mirrors, but for others it could be telling as to which positions and players Dallas could be targeting with one of their 6 draft picks this year. There have been numerous names released as to who the Cowboys have worked out privately or met with at their pro day, but you have to take these kind of visits with a grain of salt. It could just be the Cowboys and their scouts doing their due diligence. For me, keeping an eye on the players who attend Dallas Day for local prospects who grew up or played in the Dallas area and their 30 pre-draft visitors is much more important. The Dallas Cowboys have a tendency of drafting players who were brought in for a pre-draft visit, or attended Dallas Day. But for today, I want to focus on the Cowboys' 30 pre-draft visitors. Continue to read below to see the list of pre-draft visitors so far. Dallas Cowboys 30 pre-draft visitors offense: Dawson Knox, Ole Miss, via @justem_NFL, Deebo Samuel, WR, South Carolina, via NFL.com, Emmanuel Hall, WR, Missouri, via Bobby Belt, Jace Sternberger, Texas A. Bobby Belt, Jonathan Abram, S, Mississippi State, via Tom Pelissero, Kingsley Keke, DT, Texas A. 2019 NFL Draft 2019 off-season 30 visits Dallas Cowboys for draft visits. Name: Zach Allen. Position: defensive end. School: Boston College Conference, ACC. Class: senior. Jersey: no. 2 recruitment rating: 3-star HT, 6 feet 4 inches WT, 280 DOB, August 20, 1997. Tackles, defense, fumbles, year, school, CONF, class, post, G, solo, tot, loss, SK, and yards, AVG, TD, PDFR, yards, TDFF, 2015, Boston College, ACCFR, DET 21120.00.00000, asterisk, 2016, Boston College, ACC, SOTA 10-19-17-36-10.06.0000042, asterisk, 2017, Boston College, ACC, Junior to 1347-53, 115.54.010.003-002018, Boston College, ACC, Senior to 12-26-356-115.06.51666.00721, career, Boston College, 93,106,199.40.5, 16.5263.00144.1, highlights, Boston College defensive end Zach Allen is one of the most versatile and productive defensive players in the country. He is in the top 10 all-time at BC in sacks and tackles for loss. In 2018, Allen was named second-team All-ACC. At 6 feet 5 inches and 285 pounds, Allen is physical at the point of attack while also maintaining his athleticism and playing with great instincts. Pros: Zach Allen was a highly productive defensive lineman for the Boston College Eagles over the last 3 years. He played both defensive end and defensive tackle on the Eagles' defensive line, and has the versatility to play in a not or even defensive front in the NFL. He probably projects better as a 4-3 technique in a 4-3 defensive scheme, but can play the 5 technique in a 3-4 defense. Allen is one of the bigger and stronger 4-3 defensive ends in the entire 2019 draft class. Due to his size and strength, he is able to easily shed blockers and set a strong edge, which makes him a really strong run defender. Shows really good read and react ability and quickly diagnoses plays. Has good gap integrity, non-stop motor, and doesn't take any plays off. Good first step quickness out of his stance as a pass rusher, showing good burst to get up the field in a hurry. Has good short area mobility and quickness. Shows good hand technique to go from one counter move to another when engaging and disengaging from blockers. Violent hands and power helps him put offensive linemen on their heels. Always has a plan with his pass rush, which suggests he has a strong football IQ. The biggest negative about Zach Allen is where he fits best in the NFL. He's a bit of a tweener. He doesn't really have the speed or flexibility to win consistently against offensive tackles as a defensive end, and he doesn't have the strength right now to hold up as an every-down defensive tackle. Might be nothing more than a rotational defensive lineman. Allen has prototypical size and strength to be a base 2 or 3 tech in a 4-3 defensive scheme, but lack of length and athleticism could limit his effectiveness to play either position at the NFL level. His lack of length is particularly concerning. Quicker offensive linemen are able to get into his body, and he has trouble disengaging at times because of his lack of length. Needs to add more strength if he is asked to kick inside to play defensive tackle. Has a hard time anchoring down against the run and can be washed out of plays. Tight lower body with very little flexibility. Struggles to change directions, despite his short area quickness and mobility. Has gotten by mostly on effort instead of athleticism. Can be baited off sides by hard counts. Cowboys fit. Zach Allen would immediately step in and contribute to the Dallas Cowboys defensive line rotation. In the Cowboys' 4-3 defensive scheme, I think he would play a similar role like Tyrone Crawford as a base defensive end on early downs and then kick inside to the 3 technique in obvious passing situations. In fact, he could be Crawford's replacement in 2020. Allen is an intriguing player for the Cowboys, but he's kind of a tweener to DT prospect. He doesn't really have the speed or athleticism to win consistently against NFL offensive tackles as a D, and he doesn't really have the strength to consistently play at DT yet. But he has the kind of versatility Dallas likes in their DL and is someone they will strongly consider drafting in the second round with their first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. We are less than a month away from the 2019 NFL Draft, and it's a big one for the Cowboys. Without a first-round pick, they can't go wrong in day 2. So far, the front office has managed the offseason pretty well. Although there are still positions that need help, there's none with so much urgency to force the Cowboys to reach for any player in April. Instead, they'll be able to address the draft with a best player available philosophy. Matt Miller from Bleacher Report published his latest mock draft a week ago. Making a deep dive into the third round, Miller mocked 2 defensive backs to the Cowboys. Despite recently adding free agent safety George Iloka to the team, Dallas still needs to find a young safety to pair up with Xavier Woods in the future. A team need that hasn't been discussed much is cornerback. The team has good players at the position, but could use more depth. Without further ado, let's get to the players who Miller is sending to Dallas. He's a versatile player who has played in various positions across the defensive backfield. He shined the most as a free safety in his college career. Some see Thornhill as a player who could even try to play as a cornerback in the NFL. He could be a starter right out of the gate as a safety, though. As a very smart player, Juan Thornhill is the kind of guy who takes the ball away thanks to his instincts. He's one of those players with a lot of talent, but who may struggle to find his true position in the NFL. However, his upside might just be worth the risk. Pick. He's a prospect with a ton of upside. He could do well against slot receivers in the NFL, but there's quite a few things to work on. The speed is there, but his lack of footwork will get him in trouble in man-to-man coverage. The Cowboys have a good set of starters at the cornerback position, but the depth is far from ideal. Serious injury could greatly hurt the defense at any point of the season. Taking someone like Sheffield in day 2 would make a lot of sense. There's a lot of different ways the Cowboys could address the 2019 NFL Draft. They've managed to add quality free agents to have more freedom when on the clock in April. Hopefully, they go in with a best player available approach and walk away with a good rookie class. Since being drafted 4th overall in the 2016 NFL Draft, Ezekiel Elliott has carried a heavier load than just about any running back in football. He's totaled over 1,000 touches in just 3 seasons, and did so even with a 6-game suspension in 2017. This workload cannot be sustainable forever, can it? Probably not. And because of this, the Cowboys really need to look for another running back who can contribute for this offense as soon as possible. While they may want to target an Elliott-like back, someone who can pound the ball between the tackles and be a traditional zone blocking scheme runner, they may be best suited to look for more of a complement to what Elliott does well. Someone who can shoulder parts of the load on passing downs, or provide a change of pace to keep the defense on its toes. If they want to target this type of running back in the 2019 NFL Draft, Utah State's Darwin Thompson might be that guy on day 3. Kyle Krabs of the Draft Network mocked Thompson to Dallas in his latest mock draft, so I decided to check out the player. Thompson is a 5 feet 8 inches 198-pound running back who had himself a nice pro day this spring. At his pro day, Thompson ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, put up 28 reps on the bench press, and measured at 10 feet 6 inches on the broad jump. While the 4.5 isn't exactly blazing, his other athletic marks would have put him in good company at the NFL Combine. On tape, Thompson is far from a finished product. Although he has the body of a scat back, Thompson doesn't have the next-level speed that you'd hope for out of that type of player. He was used effectively as a receiver on swing passes, and on jet sweeps, but being quicker than fast in the short area isn't exactly a great attribute for someone of his size. Thompson also doesn't have the most fluid hands, and will need to be coached up as a route runner. What he does do well, however, has a lot to do with his want-to. Thompson plays with great effort, and though undersized, will battle for every extra yard. A clearly competitive player, Thompson is the type of guy the first could see Jason Garrett loving to have around. Darwin Thompson is also a very elusive player in space. Although not a blazer, he's an evasive runner who can make people miss with the ball in his hands. Once he's in the open field, Thompson is a fun player to watch, but getting him to that point was sometimes a struggle for Utah State. In a lot of ways, Thompson is the antithesis of Ezekiel Elliott. But that could be exactly what the Cowboys need in their running back room. In recent years, they've backed Elliott up with Rod Smith and drafted Bo Scarborough, two big and powerful running backs who didn't see much time at all on game day. It might be time for them to fill that spot with a different type of running back. He's still a very raw football player, but it is obvious that there is talent there with Darwin Thompson. I like Thompson on day 3 of the NFL Draft if the Cowboys decide to take a chance on a guy with some scat back qualities who needs some coaching and developing as a football player.